Welcome to the first episode of 3 Sets of Yap. So I guess since this is the first episode, we can kind of dive to like what this channel is going to be about. And essentially it's going to be based around we're not really strangers. And I'm just going to be yapping. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I just go to the gym solo a lot because a lot of my friends, they live a little bit further away from the gym than I do. So I definitely am going to the gym solo a lot. So I can't really yap, and I'm a yapper. So this is gonna be kind of me yapping, and you are my gym partner. So that's how we're gonna do it. Hopefully I don't look crazy. We're here at One Gen in Claremont, and there's a lot of influencers around. It's just people with cameras filming their stuff, which is cool because that's basically what I'm doing right now. So I should fit right in. Yeah, let's do it. Oh my god, it's so dark. I think we're gonna warm up with a 45. I kind of hate this machine because the leg pads are a little bit weird. Let's get started. Okay, new angle. Let's go ahead and warm up with another plate. Once we're done warming up, we'll get to our first question because I'm kind of lagging on it. So we're gonna move on. All right, now that that's out the way, let's get into the first questions. Can't even see it because there's like a couple lights here, but what do you crave more of? I think I crave more spontaneity. I crave more human interaction. I crave, lately, authenticity. Okay, that's not in my bag. That is not in my bag, everybody. Holy shit. I feel like at this point, a lot of things in my life are very consistent. My sleeping schedule, my gym routine, my meal preps. I meal prep every single week on a Sunday. And my schedule is kind of thought out for me. Lately, I've been craving more side quests. There's more things to do. Because if not, then I feel like that one SpongeBob meme where like the guy, he's just in his cubicle, he's going to work, he's at home. And then the wife is like, "Are you ready for bed, honey?" And he's like, "Yes, dear." I don't want to live in that. I want to be able to do random stuff to break the monotony. Is that the word? Sure. More human connection because I work from home and I would consider myself to be like a very social person, right? I enjoy talking to people. I feel like I've traveled enough around the world. When I lived in Germany for like 4 years, I just wanna talk to people wherever it is. If it's in the grocery store, if it's at the gym, if it's in the bathroom stall, you know, talking to the guy right next to me, like, hey, you know, just human connection. Whether it's tipsy or sober, human connection, in any way possible. I feel like online, especially in social media, there's a lot of inauthenticity going on. Everyone is very performative, you know, not just like a performative male epidemic, but just in the way they approach things in order to build this online persona about themselves. And for me lately, it ties in with human interaction, but just wanting authenticity out of people. You know, show me your weird side, you know. Tell me what makes you you. You don't need to put on this like this charade, this character in order to like connect. So that's what I mean by authenticity, to be honest. Oh damn, my timer ran out. Okay. Like there's definitely a feeling when someone's being inauthentic to you, whether it's through their vocal inflections, their body language, or just the way they approach like a conversation when you're talking to them. You could definitely tell, you know, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to slip up. You know, it's okay. I feel like a lot of people, they put on a persona out of the fear of how they're perceived. And I don't think that's how people should go about life. All right, let's hit this set. Okay, so the next question is, what are you more afraid of? Failure or success, and why? Maybe you guys like share the same sentiment. Who knows? But for me personally, like I'm afraid of success. Let me kind of talk about like why I'm not afraid of failure, but more so success. Let's start with like why I'm not afraid to fail. And I think a lot of people need to adopt that mindset of not being afraid to fail, because you can't really experience true success until you go through failure a lot. you have to fail a lot, and the gratification of success is going to be amplified tenfold. That's just how it is. It's going through those hard times, going through those late nights, going through those anxious days to the even more anxious nights, wondering, you know, what's gonna happen. And as you continue on in whatever your journey you're going through, that payoff is gonna feel way better. It's gonna make all those nights worth it. I'm not afraid to fail because it's one of the better lessons you can get in life. Big Sean, he has a lyric. It says, "There's no mistakes in life, only lessons." And ever since I heard that, it really added on to the change in thinking that I went through. Because if you treat failure as a lesson to do better next time, your approach and execution the next time around is gonna be way better because you learned something. I'm afraid of success because I like to put a lot of pressure on myself. Not like bad pressure to where it's like crippling you or whatever, but the good kind of pressure. The pressure that drives you to want more, to be more ambitious. Pressure that it's now or never, like you gotta do this. That's the kind of pressure I like to create for myself. Because without pressure, you know, there's no growth. If your back isn't pushed to the corner along your journey a couple of times, you're not gonna know like the magnitude of the situation you're dealing with. Which is why I'm afraid of success, because if I succeed, I have the pressure to do more. Because if I could achieve this, then I can achieve way more. And then now that pressure is put onto me, I worry over times that maybe I'm putting too much pressure on myself. We're about to do one of my favorite exercises. It's gonna be the back extension. Now a lot of people are like, oh, slip this, broken back speed run. But it's like, as long as you do what's in your bag and just stick to the weight that you're able to move pain-free and with good form, you'll be fine. Just do it with good form. A lot of people, they try like ego stuff and then they just end up fucking Charles Xavier, you know? And warm up. A lot of people just don't fucking warm up. They just jump straight into it. Like, let's not ego this. Okay. What title would you give this chapter in your life? What title would I give this chapter in my life? I'm a big Spider-Man fan, like a big Spider-Man nerd. A brand new day. I'm still the same guy, but I feel as though ever since I moved back from being gone from California for like 5 years, because I lived in Germany before, lived in Texas for 1, and now I'm back at my old stomping grounds, but in a new area. It feels like a chance to kind of like reinvent myself. I feel like the last time I was in California, I was really just trying to find my way, you know, find my footing. Moving overseas was like no way home or something like that, you know? Or far from home even, if you wanna go along with the movie titles. But yeah, it's a brand new day for me, just a chance to reinvent myself. So that's why I would give this chapter in my life. And I'm definitely like really excited to see what unfolds. Anyways, enough of that. Let's go lift 3 plates. Who knows, guys? Maybe this will be the video where like my back just explodes on camera. Okay, we're gonna leave 2 RIR. Yeah, that's enough. Guys, I am a little extremely sad right now. I cannot lie to you. So this gym had a chest supported machine row that was probably the best upper back row I've ever used in my life. They replaced it with this T-bar row. They never had this T-bar row last time I went last Tuesday. So they literally just got it. So it's like squeaky clean and everything. But it's like, you know, yeah. Oh no, my steak is too juicy. My lobster's too buttery. Because not a lot of gyms have a T-bar row. And this one is an interesting one. It's not like the regular, you know, Nautilus ones, or they're just the regular T-bar rows in general where the handles don't like move. It's like fixed. This one actually looks really good. So today's gonna be my first time trying it. We're just gonna get a few warm-ups in or whatever. We'll do 2 sets, just like normal, but yeah, we'll whip out the next question after a couple warm-ups, and then we'll see from there. Which one? All right. Actually, all right. So on the pin loaded row, I'm at 175 right now for the machine. So for here, I like to estimate I'll probably be somewhere around like 3 plates maybe, because last time I did a T-bar row, it was at my old gym, and I was about 3 plates deep. I'm gonna put a plate. Let's put a plate because I would rather overshoot than undershoot. If I realize it's not in my bag, we can just go down. So, but let's get the next question before we move on. Oh my God, it's so small. I'm like one popcorn. What lesson took you the longest to unlearn? I would say it's okay for people to not reciprocate your energy at all. It's okay. Because the type of energy that you create, the type of energy that you curate, this identity that you form, you know, there's so many factors that go into it. Regional, religious, you know, community-wise, whatever you want to call it. And to expect everyone to reciprocate your energy, let's say you're a big giver and you expect other people to give on the same level, whether that's in a mental capacity or a physical capacity, it's just not possible. And for me, growing up a lot, especially during my high school years, before the frontal lobe was hopefully kind of developed by now, I gave my all to everyone and was always expecting them to return the same energy because that's what I did. But that's not a healthy way of thinking. You should give what you can. If that's all, none, or some, so be it. But in terms of the return, keep an open mind, keep an open heart. That everyone's going through their own shit. Everyone has different levels of what they're gonna be able to give. And to expect that out of people is actually not really fair to them. Because what if one day you're having a bad day and you meet someone super cool who usually matches your energy, but you're unable to really reciprocate it because you're having a bad day? Now what? So I would say it definitely took me a while to unlearn that, especially in relationships. I'm not gonna lie, guys. 3 plates, this might be a very terrible fucking idea. Nope. Example of overshooting it. I overshot it by a lot. Yeah, as soon as I pulled that, I realized this was not in my bag at all. Low-key crushing me. Yeah, 2 plates. I think I did 6. 6 or 7. Okay, let's get this warm-up set out of the way, and then we'll get to the next question. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna move the camera. We're gonna be doing 180 on these. I'm gonna try and get 8 for both. If I get 8, it's gonna be a good day. Let's see the question. Have you changed your mind about anything recently? Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully the text isn't backwards. What have I changed my mind about recently? Oh my God. I have changed my mind about saying no to a lot of things. Within the past year or so, maybe, I haven't been saying yes to a lot of things, especially when it comes to experiences. I feel like I've just been thinking, no, it's a waste of time, or it's not worth my time. I have better things to do. I need to catch up on this. I need to catch up on that. You know, just a lot of things that I need to do. But then once I started saying yes, especially when I moved back to California, I've had the greatest experiences ever. Well, greatest is kind of subjective, but I mean, I've had a lot of good experiences that I wouldn't have had otherwise if I said no. You know, just random side quests. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm at a work conference in San Diego, and at freaking 10 o'clock in the morning the next day, we're gonna day drink and we're gonna go to a Renaissance Fair Plaster. What do you mean? Like, let's just go to a $5 Kehlani concert on a Wednesday. Mind you, when I went to that, it was so sick, and it was for her new album, Kehlani. And she brought out Big Sean, who is, you know, call me corny, but he's my idol. He's been my idol since about, I'll say like 8th grade. Yeah, since like 7th or 8th grade. Mind you, I'm 25, so it's a little bit like funk status right now. But yeah, I saw it was so crazy. And that happened because I changed my mind about saying no. I started saying yes more. So I do think for a lot of people, if they're complaining about, I don't got shit going on in my life is boring, my life is not a movie, it's just a Instagram reel, you know, say yes. Learn to say yes. Even if you have doubts, even if you're not a social person and they say, come out with us, just say yes. The worst thing that can happen is that, you know, you regret it and you learn for next time. The best thing that can happen is you experience growth as a person because you brought yourself outside your comfort zone. And that's always a good thing. I feel like a lot of people, they should really venture outside their comfort zone, you know, a couple times in their life. Because everyone likes to play it safe, especially nowadays where like, you know, it's really hard to take risks because of how unstable a lot of things are these days, you know. But I feel like with taking risks, you just open yourself up to a lot more. You know, it's crazy. I don't normally sweat in the gym, but right now I'm sweating in places where I didn't even know sweat could secrete from, you know? Maybe a little too TMI, but yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I'm wearing a sauna suit. I guess I changed my mind about that too this year, that I don't sweat in the gym. I don't even think I changed my mind about it. I think my body just changed it for me on a goddamn molecular level. I think I'm officially at the dying point of the workout. What is my filter set to? Oh shit. If you have, when was the moment you realized you weren't invincible? I would say during my first heartbreak, because I thought I was like pretty, at the time I was maybe like 21 or whatever. So I thought I was, you know, all emotionally regulated, emotionally mature by that point. You know, I was like, I can handle it. I was living on my own in a foreign country. I was like, man, I could handle anything thrown at me. I had to move the camera because I was like, even though there's a lot of content creators in here, I still try and be mindful of everyone in the gym because, you know, not everyone likes to be on camera. And also, I don't like being in people's ways. That's pretty inconvenient. I felt my entire being just crumbled. It was good. It was like a canon event where I had to kind of like rebuild myself a little bit, reevaluate my approach and relationships, redo my entire mindset, and realize that, you know, at the end of the day, we're all very vulnerable. And no matter how many walls we put up, these walls can be broken down. And when they're broken down, you know, how are you gonna deal with it? So that's my answer on that.